But don't worry about it. Mine's a
Welcome to the first council of the school year. Very exciting. We're going to get started. We're going to jump right in with the adoption of the agenda in a minute, and then we're going to go over speaker's business and sort of set the tone of the ground. So, if you're a little lost, don't worry. We're going to get started. So, motion one, adoption of the agenda. Whereas an agenda debate, and whereas we need to approve it, be resolved that council approve the agenda of the council meeting of September 19th, as seen on the Engineering Society website. Moved by Chloe, I made this agenda from scratch from the McLeod, and seconded by Madeline, no one cares, Provo. Do you have an opening? Any debate on the motion? Seeing none, closing. All right, wonderful. We're going to put it to a vote, so you can vote for, against, or abstain. If you have a pink placard, you have a vote. Can I see votes for? All right, can I see votes against? Any abstentions? Would you like that noted in the minutes? All right. All right, motion one, whereas an agenda was made and we need to approve it, be it resolved that council approve the agenda of the council meeting of September 19th as seen on the Engineering Society website. Moved by Chloe McLeod, seconded by Madeline Provo. Passes. Motion two, adoption of the minutes. Whereas it's been some time since the last council, and whereas Maggie May wrote the minutes and they need to be approved, be it resolved that council approve the minutes of the council meeting of Thursday, March 21st, 2024, as seen on the Engineering Society website. Moved by Chloe, you were just a frosh back then with McLeod, and seconded by Madeline. At least I'm not washed up like you, Provo. Any opening? Any debate on the motion? Seeing none, any closing? All right, once again, motion two, whereas it's been some time since the last council, and whereas Maggie May wrote the minutes and they need to be approved, be it resolved that council approve the minutes of the council meeting of Thursday, March 24th, 2024, as seen on the Engineering Society website. Moved by Chloe McLeod, seconded by Madeline Provo. Can I see votes for? Wonderful. Can I see votes against? Any abstentions? All right, wonderful. Motion two passes. We're now going to move to speaker's bids. We're going to break. We're going to So, hi everyone, welcome to council. If you don't know me, my name is Madeline Provo. I'm the speaker for this year. Quiet, harder. My name is Madeline Provo. I'm your speaker for this year. I use she, they pronouns, so you can refer to me as Miss Speaker or Speaker or Maddie. Works as well outside the council. I want to start with a land acknowledgement. So, as an uninvited guest, I want to acknowledge that I'm grateful and lucky to be living and learning and playing on this land. It's my duty and responsibility to walk gently and to also educate myself about the rich history and culture of the peoples who live on this land since time immemorial. I did a little bit of research that I'd like to share with you all, because I think that learning is a great way that us as a school can develop our knowledge of the land. The people of this land are the Huron-Wendat and Haudenosaunee. The Mississauga and the Algonquin of the Anishinaabe have also occupied the region in the Great Lakes and beyond. The land of Kingston itself was actually ceded to the British Crown. We are not on unceded territory. It was from the Crawford Purchase in 1783. That's something that I learned. It was sold to the British Crown and then sold back to Indigenous people, which kind of just feels like a money-making scheme, but alas. If you'd like to check out the website native-land.ca, it's a great resource to start learning. So, for anyone who has never been to council, I'd like to take a couple minutes to sort of go over how this can look like. Anyone is welcome to come to council, but only 36 people get votes. As I mentioned before, if you have a pink placard, then you have a vote at council. You can vote for, against, or you can abstain, as we did earlier with the minutes. If you abstain, you will be offered the choice to have that noted in the minutes, which are being taken by lovely Nina, our society officer. Another thing that will be available on the website, other than the minutes, is this whole meeting. We're being live streamed and recorded. So, hi Internet, nice to see you. It is my role as council, as speaker of council, and as the moderator to maintain order. So it's up to me if you are stepping out of order. So that includes if you're using inappropriate language, I will cut you off. If you're speaking in circles, I will redirect the conversation. If there is any harassment, discrimination, intoxication, you may be asked to leave. If I call to order, you must cede the floor to me and stop talking. And a personal note is that I'm very sensitive to background noise and chatter, so I ask you keep chatter down to the minimum, and I will do my best to make sure that we're not here any longer than necessary. Couple notes, my rulings cannot be debated, although you are welcome to ask for clarifications regarding my rulings, and any ruling of mine can be overwritten with a 2/3 majority vote. There are rules about when you can raise your placards and when you can speak on the back of your placard, so feel free to take a look at those if you haven't already. When you're speaking to me, please rise and say your name and your position. I'm going to try and learn everyone's names and positions as fast as possible, but a lot of you are new to me, so give me a couple minutes. We'll get there eventually. All right, that was a lot to go over, but I hope there's no questions. Any questions? Feeling good? Feeling exciting? You look great. You look amazing. Yes, we also have council candy available. The money goes towards the bursary, so you are welcome. It's a pay what you can donation. Put some money in the bag, and then take some candy out. We love the bursary. All right, if there's no questions, we're going to jump into our first presentation, and also the only presentation, which is the operational budget for this year.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing better than a presentation when you have on the top of my hat. Sure. Does this have to be up to first? The one. Okay, hi everyone. I'm Avery. I'm the Vice President of Finance Administration this year. Adam, Director of Finance. And this is our operational budget for the year. So hopefully, considering that Chloe sent it on Wednesday, people have had time to go through and kind of look at this a little bit at least. This will be super important for at least the executive directors for this year. This is kind of what we have to follow. That being said, I'll let Adam kick it off and start going.
So the NSHOC operating budget is made up of the routine expenses and revenues, operating costs like bookkeeping expenses and financial expenses, and administrative expenses like the general manager, Jay's salary. And it also includes like all the revenues. So summary, our revenue is about $540,000. Our expenses are also about $540,000. And we have a net operating surplus expected to be around $1,200.
Sorry, just really quickly back on those numbers for a second. We did have to make a last minute change, so we were projecting about 11 grand as of this morning, and then we had to increase our bookkeeping charges by 10 grand, so that's why we're projecting right now at 1,200. That being said, we'll also have on top of that 50% of the revenue that was generated, of the surplus from last year's budget will be allocated to this budget, so we will be more than a grand for those questions.
Some of the notable expenses are Director for External Relations with about $34,000 in expenses for various like conference expenses. We have the Director of Internal Processes for the award banquet with $1,000, and the Director of Professional Development with various event expenses around like $28,000. And then more notable expenses is the President executive admin fees with like the summer executive salary, the general manager salary, accounting fees, and the appreciation for everyone in that shop. And that's around like $60,000.
Okay, and this is kind of a breakdown specific by director, so can you guys read the things on the side? Yes, huge. Okay, that was important for me to add too. So yeah, I'm not gonna like go through them all, but like if you guys have questions, this is what each of the directors will be spending or what they budgeted for. One other important thing to mention is PD and IP, which is the one right underneath it, both like have a lot of money that they make back in revenue too through poster sale and AMS. So that's not accounted. This is just like money going out to their performance. Any questions? Bennett?
Does the leave slash threshold fit into this under president or doesn't go?
They're separate budgets. They have to go to advisory board. Okay, and then this is kind of a breakdown of our revenue. So we increased our student fee to about $94 per student, and then the number, the 3,000 is based off of current enrollment that Jack has found of like people who have already paid their student fees, which should hopefully be pretty accurate. As far as other revenue, for the internal process, we have the poster sale, which generates about 15 grand each year. And then from PD, we have 16 grand between ANS and other like tickets and conferences and other events that they run. Okay, I know that was super fast, but I don't want to waste everyone's time. Does anyone have any questions? Lucas.
Lucas Baylog, Engineering Center. I got a list. Why is this the 23-24 operating budget?
Oh, I knew we forgot to see that one.
Okay, first question. Mailjet is noted twice under both IT and BPSA.
Yeah, so that was looked at. I believe we do have multiple accounts, so I think that is correct. But yeah, we'll have to check with that one. I'll look into it though. I'm pretty sure that that is what it's on.
Okay, sweet. Is faculty no longer paying for the Iron Pin ceremony whatsoever?
That's. Do you want to take that one, Jack?
Yeah, Jack Walker, president. Sophia had a meeting with them recently. I think they said that they couldn't cover the entire cost, but they would likely still be contributing some. So we cut the amount that they were contributing to 50% of what they did last year, and that's reflected in this budget.
Okay, I must have misread that then. And then last one.
The version you have should say $1,500.
Okay.
And I would then.
Yeah, that sounds less than what I originally. Okay, yeah. And last one, why is the Director of External Relations paying for an Edge Day table when Edge Day charged no fees this year? Is that from last year?
Yeah, that's likely just an oversight.
Okay.
On this.
Sweet.
It's a long budget in the external portfolio.
As long as those are noted in the record, I'm happy. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucas. All right.
Connor Rosie, ERB Chair. Can we get a follow-up on that $10,000 in bookkeeping? Just
Yes.
where did that come from? Where did that go?
Yeah, so kind of pre-COVID, we had a lot of things that we did that didn't quite make it out of COVID. So this year, a focus of mine and Adams was to try to get back to pre-COVID and fix all the issues we had along the way. So a big part of that is we're going to have to increase the amount of time that Brad, our bookkeeper, spends like actually looking at our books. So we've just increased the cost that we pay him to reflect the increased hours that we're going to be giving him essentially.
So that's a continually inflating cost for the rest of our budgets looking at.
That's what we just talked about. I don't think it'll be like a full $10,000 increase each year. I think this year might be a little bit more to like play catch up and fix some of the things, but I think that once we get back on the right track and doing all the right things, then we should be probably going to decrease it a little bit. Finance.
Desiree, EC president. The NSOC fees, does that all go towards the ED budgets, or does any of that get distributed to other sort of sub-teams?
No, it's all for our.
Just as a point of information, the ED team budget is ED team and all of their subcommittees as well. So like the PD team and outreach team, all of those are considered within the ED budget. And so that student fee is all to that whole sort of tree there. And then also administrative costs and operating expenses and all that, so Jade's salary, for example.
Any more questions? All right, thank you very much. All right, so this is going to go up on the screen in a minute. But motion 3, whereas we have a budget, and whereas we'd like it approved. Be it resolved that council approve the 2024-2025 NSOC operating budget moved by Avery PPFA McFadden, seconded by Jack Haha. Avery, let me pick the names block. Do we have an opening from either of our movers?
Sure, yeah, so that was the presentation we just had.
Point of personal attack.
Oh, no. Avery McFadden, Vice President of Finance Administration. So yeah, you guys just saw the presentation. This is basically the operating budget for, as Jack described, all of the directors and executive and all of our subteams for the year. So thank you very much for listening to our short little presentation. That being said, if anyone does have questions, the budget is posted, so let us know. Thanks, guys.
Very nice. We're going to move on. Does anyone have any debate about motion 3? Seeing none, is there a closer from either of our movers? All right, motion 3, whereas we have a budget and whereas we'd like it approved, be it resolved that council approve the 2024-2025 NSOC operating budget, moved by Avery McFadden, seconded by Jack Walker. Can I see votes for the motion, please? Can I see votes against? Any abstentions? All right, motion 3 passes. Motion 4, whereas the ECE Club elected second-year reps in April when they shouldn't have been according to Mentor policy, and whereas we like our second-year reps but should still give the opportunity to students per normal procedure, be it resolved that council approves the addition of 2 second-year representatives for the 2024-2025 year who have been elected alongside the fall TSC by-election. Moved by Bennett. You know how long I've been waiting for this, Desmarais? Yes. And seconded by Maggie May. Ooh, I'm not making a name for myself. Bird. Do I have an opening from either of our movers? Yes.
Desiree, EC president. So essentially, the election that was done in April for the EC Club had elections for second-year representatives, but per our constitution and per policy, that shouldn't have happened. We didn't want to unelect people, because that would be silly and would not be very good spirit, but we also wanted to make sure that people who would get the opportunity that they normally would have. And this is essentially the first of 2 ask for forgiveness of permission motions, where this has been done already, and I'm just bringing it to council as what's happened. So our election was Tuesday and Wednesday, and we elected 2 more reps. And something like that today, but we're just getting that approved by council, and hopefully no one has any problems with it. But this is the first of 2 motions in that same context. So.
All right, we're going to move on to debate. Anyone would like to debate the motion?
Yeah, Mohammed, advisory board chair, just a quick question here. Is this change permanent, or is it just for this year because of last season's mistake? Can you please clarify that?
Correct response. Desiree, EC president, it's strictly just for this year. Based on the circumstances, it was just so we kept the opportunity open for normal procedure for second years.
All right, any other questions? Okay. All right, seeing none, any closing remarks from our movers? All right. Motion 4, whereas the ECE Club elected second-year reps in April when they shouldn't have been according to NSOC policy, and whereas we like our second-year reps but should still give the opportunity to students per normal procedure, be it resolved that council approves the addition of 2 second-year representatives for the 2024-25 year who have been elected alongside the fall of TSC by-election. Moved by Bennett Desmarais and seconded by Magdalene Burr. Can I see votes for? abstentions? All right, motion 4 passes. Motion 5, whereas the ECE Club Constitution has some updated practices that need updated, and whereas gating non-price/BP positions by year doesn't make sense for us based on our engagement, be it resolved that council approves the changes to the ECE Club Constitution as seen in Appendix Debugging, moved by Bennett, Git, Push, Origin, and Stockology, seconded by Maggie, error, tip of the current branch is 3 comments behind repository Burr. Is there an opening from either of our movers? Yes, thank you.
Temporary EC Prez, Mendes, stop letting me do the nicknames. So essentially, the only changes, the appendix is there if you'd like to view it. The only changes we made were getting rid of the year requirements for positions that aren't president and VP based on the amount of engagement we've had the last couple of years. So when we did our election, like I said, we've done this already. We opened it up to second, third, and fourth, and fifth years, and we've had some discounts there. As well, we changed something that was in our constitution but just hadn't been done for years, which was making it so only students could vote for elect reps, and comp students only vote for comp reps, and only vote for your year's rep. I know some DSCs have this, but traditionally in ECE it hasn't been done, and also we decided as a committee that it was nearly impossible to facilitate, so we also removed that as well. Besides that, everything else is the same, besides just some minor typos and stuff like that.
Thank you. Is there any debate on the motion? Seeing none, is there a closer from either of our members? All right. Motion 5, whereas the ECE Club Constitution has some outdated practices that need updated, and whereas gating price, non-price/BP positions by year doesn't make sense for us based on our engagement, be it resolved that council approves the changes to the ECE Club Constitution as seen in Appendix Debugging, moved by Bennett DeVere and seconded by Maggie Burr. Can I see votes for, please? Votes against? Any abstentions? All right, motion 5 passes. Motion 6, whereas the Toronto Club Constitution needs to be updated to reflect new policy and student needs as the program grows, and whereas this would alleviate the workload for the Toronto Club events coordinator and give more students the chance to get involved, be it resolved that the Mechatronics Club add a second events coordinator and EVIIAS representative to their constitution, moved by Pablo, I'm new here still, yeah, seconded by you come up with the nickname Mohammed, thirded by Tanner, and the good nickname Warren.
First made, Toronto's a lot smaller, we grew, we like our events, we're hoping a second events coordinator can help that happen. And EIS is very important to us as well, so we're hoping we can have that happen with our new rep.
All right, thank you. Is there any debate on the motion?
Connor Bosey, ERB Chair. I just want to get a point of information from the movers, both relevant to this motion and the last 2 motions. By bylaw 6.e.3, discipline clubs can change their constitutions in conjunction with the Director of Governance and the Director of Academics, and they come to council after there's been an issue with that kind of process, or by a 2/3 majority. I assume elect brought it to council today due to the fact they did not have policy here. Can we just get a point of information from Mechatronics as to whether or not the process was gone through? Did we just bring the constitution to council just to go off of that?
I just didn't know.
Great. Okay. I just want to check with that. It's not an issue, like in the slightest. I just wanted to make sure that everybody sitting here knew this was not something that had to happen, and there's other ways to go about it. But that's all I wanted. Thank you.
Bennett Demery, EC Prez. The Toronto Constitution was derived from the EC Constitution, and in our Constitution it does say we have to vote as a DSC committee with 2/3 majority and then bring it to Education Council. So it could just be possibly ours and theirs because it's in ours, but that could also just be, might just be the 2 of us.
Thank you very much. Any further debate? All right, motion 6, whereas the Toronto Club Constitution needs to be updated to reflect new policy and student needs as the program grows, and whereas this would alleviate the workload for the Toronto Club events coordinator and give more students the chance to get involved, be it resolved that the Mechatronics Club as second events coordinator coordinator and EDIIAS representative to their constitution. Moved by Pablo Sylvia, seconded by Yaha Mohammed, thirded by Tanner Warren. Can I see votes for, please? Thank you very much. Can I see votes against? Any abstentions? Would you like that noted in the minutes? Sure. All right, sure. Motion 6 passes. Motion 7, whereas Science Quest's current managerial structure does not suit the needs of the service, and whereas Lily and Charlie are on the quest for a better structure in the name of science, be it resolved that council approve the changes to policy, this is a new Greek letter. Ada, thank you. Ada F, as seen in appendix, in the name of science and the kids, I guess. Moved by Lily's Science Quest is the best quest, stop. Seconded by Charlie, but only when it operates properly, Angel. Is there an opening from either of our movers? Yes.
Charlie Angel, Director of Educational Services. So pretty much the organizational structure or the management structure for Science Quest doesn't make any sense the way it is. I don't know why it is the way it is. Pretty much there's the head director and then the school year director and the workshops director. That didn't really fit the operational timeline for Science Quest. And so we're changing it. So for this year, we're going to have a head director, an business operations director, and then a materials and marketing director. And it's going to work better. So approve it, I guess.
Is there any debate on the motion?
Lucas Vela, undergraduate center. Point of information, that name of the policy is not the same in the appendix. In the appendix, it's listed as changes to Science Quest SQ policy, my apologies. Just wanted that noted.
We can get that fixed and updated. Thank you for bringing that up. Any further debate? Yes, go ahead.
Megan Mayberg, ECE rep. Could we potentially get the changes on the board?
Do you want to?
Yeah.
No, I think
Because I do remember looking at this before, and I don't think that there were track changes, and I was just concerned about that because if there aren't track changes, I don't know. I just want the society officer to be able to know what was changed. Yeah. If you go to review, then it should show track changes, but I don't think there were any unless and then go to the changes, the right tab, and then press next, it should show next, but I don't think there are any.
There aren't any track changes.
So I just was clarifying if maybe if there is a document that does have the changes, and if not, then I don't know how we are supposed to know what was changed, and that's what I wanted to bring up.
Charlie Angel, Director of Education Services. Lily submitted this. All I know is I took what was policy, edited it, and then she said she was going to look over and submit it. So I don't know how that works. But I don't know. Help me out, friends.
Point of information, Jack Walker, president. Okay, so I guess The general process for submitting policy and bylaw changes is you make all of your edits in track changes, so it shows up in red, basically underneath whatever you're editing, so that you can see the original and final version in the same document, and that also makes the society's officers' life a lot easier when making those edits. So if anyone's submitting policy changes in the future, in a long time we've had people on the executive teams for those organizations. So Kalina McCloskey, who is in Avalmath and on internship right now, is the CFES president, and Simon Young, who is in MEC and also on internship, is the Ontario ambassador who goes between the two organizations. And part of their job requires that they travel to conferences. Those conference fees are paid for them, but the travel is not. So this policy is just outlining some guidelines for under what circumstances we will be helping fund that travel and how much money we're giving them and sort of what those stipulations look like. The overview is that there's a maximum of $1,000 total and $500 per person allocated for this kind of stuff. It only is available to people whose positions require them to travel, and it is only available to people who, people who are required to travel. The other sort of notes are that if you're receiving this funding, you're not eligible to apply for conference bursaries, and you're not eligible to get selected as a delegate to conferences, basically. And the rationale here is this is roughly the same amount of money that we spend anytime we send an individual delegate to a conference that came from anywhere. So essentially what we're doing is outsourcing our delegate selection. We're saying if you guys have gotten elected by the CFES, we'll pay for you to go to a conference the same as if we picked a delegate to go to that conference. The last note is that any student from any school that's a member of these organizations can submit a conduct grievance to our executive. We'll investigate that conduct grievance according to our existing conduct grievance policy, and if we find that they've basically been doing something terrible at a conference, we can rescind that funding. Any questions or objections? I'm open to debate.
Yeah, we're going to move into debate. Go ahead.
Lucas Baylog, Engineering Center. Thank you for that introduction. I appreciate that we want to support our representatives going out. I just struggled that the ER budget is already the largest by multiple fold in the engineering society, and we're already paying a couple grand to each of these organizations, so why aren't they paying for it? I feel like this is funding that every director and every person in this room could find elsewhere that would directly go to students at Queen's, and we would see it every day, as well as it kind of puts us in a weird limbo. There's some years where we'll have this extra $1,000 elsewhere in the budget, and then other years where someone's elected and all of a sudden we don't have that $1,000.
1 second, I saw that at first.
Yep.
Direct response.
Direct response. That's fair. Why aren't these organizations paying for it themselves is a discussion that me and Ethan have been having with them as well. But the current situation is that they don't. And so kind of regardless of why that is, the reality is that they don't provide that funding. So just as a few other points of note, in this policy it does say that they have to basically demonstrate that they've exhausted every other source of funding. The faculty's made some promises that they would match or exceed whatever we're providing to them. So that's another note. And the last note is that we've taken that $1,000 out of the externals budget elsewhere. Like it's not that we're spending $1,000 more on externals, it's that we're essentially sending 2 less delegates to other conferences instead.
Point of information. Do we have that agreement with faculty in writing?
No, we do not.
Yep.
Bennett Dever, EC Pres. Typically, interns don't pay the EdgeSoc fee, to my knowledge. Does that affect how they receive funding from us? Or because that rule's been in limbo the last couple of years. So.
Direct response.
Go ahead.
Yeah. They typically do not. It is possible to opt in to specific faculty society fees. In this policy right now, we don't have any sort of provision for that. If people want that to be put into place, you have to opt into your EdgeSoc fee before you're eligible for this funding. I'm open to tabling it and discussing that. But at the end of the day, essentially what that does is it's just saying that people on internship, we give $100 less, because that's more or less what the EdgeSoc fee is. So yeah, it's not strictly anywhere, at least with reference to this policy, but because basically all it is we're giving you a little cash infusion to buy plane tickets to a conference, to me, it feels like not, like, I'd be open to discussing it, but I didn't think it was a huge priority.
Is there any further debate on the motion before we move into voting? All right. All right. Is there a closing from either of our movers? All right. Motion 8. Whereas this is our first year in a long time that we've had people on ESCO or CFES, and whereas we don't have policy for funding them, be it resolved that council adopt the changes to policy as seen in Appendix ESCO CFES funding policy, moved by Jack Walker, seconded by Ethan Powell. Can I see votes for the motion, please? Thank you. Votes against? Any abstentions? All right, motion 8 passes. Motion 9. Whereas Madeline is our speaker, and she is a human and may get sick, and whereas we need a deputy speaker and assistant deputy speaker to do things, be it resolved that council elects blank as deputy speaker and blank as assistant deputy speaker for the 2024-2025 academic year. Moved by Chloe, I love you, Maddie McClousik, seconded by Mo, but everyone's replaceable, Kelly. Is there an opening from either of our movers?
Yeah, guys, this would be a fun job.
One person
what
ever.
Maddie's doing is
Who are you?
Chloe McCloskey, Director of Governance. I think this would be fun, and at some point, Maddie might not show up, and I want someone to come sit here next to me. So yeah, I think someone should nominate themselves for it. But, yeah.
Very nice. We're going to do debate first, and then we're going to do elections. Is there any debate on the motion? Bennett first.
That's ever EC Press. It's more of a point of information, but last year during elections,
You still want to say one? Go ahead, you're fine.
I'm gonna withdraw my statements by Connor. It's the same points, but it's basically just to tell council that the need for 2 deputy speakers.
Yes,
Connor Bosey, former speaker. It's important to note, please, that the deputy speaker and assistant deputy speaker will act in the case of any time the speaker has a duty they cannot attend, whether that be council or whether that be, I don't know, elections debate night. You might find yourself being called on in different scenarios. The need for the assistant deputy speaker is that last year, Andrew benched me, and then Kalena was also had broke her foot. So we were just not doing well on the speaker front. We hit elections discussion night or debate night. So there's now 2 of them. Yeah, good luck.
very nice. And I'd like to add to that. Or assistant deputy speaker? Yep.
Lucas Baylock, Engineering Center. I'd like to nominate myself for deputy speaker.
I second.
Very nice. Yes?
I was second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna start nominating people.
And
For assistant deputy.
to refuse the role if you would not like to be assistant deputy speaker.
I would like to decline.
All right, yes.
May I oppose an amendment to the
Where are you?
EC President? May I propose that we have people run for one position and then just do 1, 2, or do we want to let people do one or the other? That way we kind of split 2 election boards. It's up to you.
I'm happy to just do them at the same time, if that is a friendly amendment.
No?
I mean, we can. All right, come on down.
You want your ears to work?
Okay. All right. Order, please, order. The way that this is going to work is that we're going to give each of them 1 minute on my clock to say why they would be a good deputy or assistant deputy speaker. After that, we're going to put them in the hallway, and it's going to be a vote of confidence as to whether or not we think that they're going to do a good job. Do either of you care who starts?
I'll go first.
All right, perfect. Whenever you're ready.
Hi, I'm Luke Spalog, Engineering Senator. I like rules. I don't know if you do this or not. Clearly I've been in a little group before over there that keeps asking all these annoying questions, and only you all here when you have homework. But I ran for Engineering Senator almost 2 years ago. Oh boy. And yeah, that was one of the things I said, is I like the boring things. I like making sure that we have governance structures that run. I know I love debating my executive as much as I love their friendship outside. I almost love debating them in this room more. But I think it's important that we have rules and orders, that we can have these healthy debates, so that we're not dragging things outside of this room, that we get it settled in here and get it done, so that we can feel confident that we have a well-functioning council and that we're serving the people of Smith Engineering well. Nice.
Very nice. With 13 seconds to spare.
Ooh.
All right. Rob, whenever you're ready.
Great. I'm Ranveer Pandey, and if you guys don't know, I fucking love council.
Point of order.
I love council, really, really. But NSOC was the first place that felt like home for me, and I'll do anything I can to contribute to it and to the functioning of it. If anyone knows me better, you know how much I speak, so I think I'll be a good man for the role. At the same time, I don't live in Canada, so I can never go back home. I'm always around Kingston, so if that helps, I will be there. And I haven't broken a foot or gotten a major disease, so I think more points for my availability. I think that makes me a good candidate. Thank you.
Very nice.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Yes.
Can you strike the profanity from the record, please?
I will work on it, guys.
Okay.
I promise.
All right. Yes, very nice. Thank you very much. Did we decide which of you we were going to make deputy and assistant? Yes, I know that I said earlier that we could vote them in one, but we've already assigned them as a deputy and assistant. So I'll ask you to vote each deputy.
Do we get questions from council?
Oh, yeah.
Questions to ask? Yes?
I have a question for...
I have
Jenny Bro, Junior Senator. Can I ask a question to one of them, or does it have to be both?
You can ask a question to one.
I have a question for Lucas Baylor.
Point of order, it should be the both of them.
All right, thank you very much.
Point of order, we're voting for different positions.
Different roles.
Alright, fine, yeah, I guess one of them.
Yes, you can ask your question to one of them.
I was just wondering how you were planning on still managing having a vote at council and also at the same time being able to bring the conversation together, but you still have to bring across your representing setting. So,
Thank you so much. Do you have a response?
Can I get clarification? What do you mean by representing Senate?
I mean, you have a vote at council and you ask questions based on that vote. So I'm just wondering, how will you make sure that you're still bringing forward your questions, but at the same time you're engaging in facility?
Yeah, I think that gets back to my point about the point of governance and debate. We call each other by our position and our last name in here because it's not personal. We're debating the rules, we're debating the motion and what has been decided for the society. I'm not debating someone personally, and I think that, yeah, when I'm asked to step up in the chance that it's mid-council, then kind of it's my responsibility and my promise to this council that I remove whatever personal bias or decisions I had made up when I was debating that motion. My sole focus is now on being the speaker and maintaining order in this council. I still have the tie-breaking vote as speaker, so at some point I need to make a decision, but my outlook focuses that. I'm a leader and public representative, that's who I am, and I hope I've gained enough reputation in this council and in society at this point that everybody can trust me with that responsibility.
Thank you for the response. Any other questions?
Point of information, I guess, just for everyone, that because you have the tie-breaking vote and also the senator vote, you have to proxy that to someone if you have
Yes,
to
thank
step into the role.
Yeah.
Not really a question, just right out there.
Thank you very much. Any other questions for either of our two candidates? Yes?
Connor Bosey, former speaker. Can I get a tongue twister out of both of you?
Yeah, this is very good. I will give you the option to either choose a tongue twister of your own, and I will decide if it is good enough, or we can find one for you.
No, I need one.
All right, for sure. Chloe, will you pull up some of the tongue twisters, please? Yes.
Is there none in the speaker transition manual?
I'll make a note to add it.
You haven't done it yet? While we're waiting, Madam Speaker, can you please explain point of personal leverage?
Yeah, I was going, point of
Personal leverage? Because we've been using it, and I think there's a lot of new members of council who have no idea what's going on.
Yes, for sure. So, if you have heard people say point of personal privilege and then everyone starts laughing, it's
Beverage.
Beverage? Yeah, no, you're going to have to explain.
Alright, Chloe, why don't you keep looking at Connor or somebody explain? Here, never mind.
Chloe McCloskey, Director of Governance. If I didn't say that before I started speaking, someone could say, what was it, point of personal beverage, and then you owe them a drink. So.
Not inside council chambers.
Yeah, not,
For legal reasons, that's not great.
yeah, and only if you're 18 and
Thank you.
above.
Okay. Yeah, I'm making you strike that from the minutes. Makes me know. All right, I have found a tongue twister that I like.
Oh.
Yes, please. It's the noisy noise.
What do you mean I went first?
I will read it for you to demonstrate.
No, you gotta let them just go.
All right, never mind. I will not.
Which one is it?
Noisy noise.
Okay, someone was English as second language, I was American first.
But please go first.
Any noise annoys an oyster, but a noisy noise annoys at oyster most. You tell us that it's it.
Any noise annoys a oyster, but a noisy noise annoys a oyster most.
All right, very nice. Thank you for the question. Any other questions for our candidates? All right. Seeing none, I'm now going to ask you both to step into the hallway and close the door behind you, please. My secretary, Dr. Cole.
Thank you, Yaya. Oh, we didn't? Okay. Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Very well done. All right. We are now going to vote on the overall motion. Now,
Point of order. Any
Yes.
further debate on the motion?
any further debate on the motion? I would do these things if I had. Is there any further debate on motion 9? that it is complete. Motion 9, whereas Madeline is our speaker and she is human and may get sick, and whereas we need a deputy speaker and assistant deputy speaker to do things, be it resolved that council elects Lucas Baylog as deputy speaker and Kunal Delpandi as assistant deputy speaker for the 2024-2025 academic year. Moved by Flo McLeod, seconded by Mo Kelly. Can I see votes for the motion, please? Can I see votes against? Any abstentions? Would you like that noted?
Yes, please.
Yes. Thank you. All right, motion 9 passes. Very nice. Motion 10. Whereas the society has been changing and people have made SMO typos, and whereas we need to keep policy updated and correct, ironic, be it resolved that council approve the changes to policy as seen in appendix summer policy clerical changes. Moved by Mo Gaslight, Gatekeep Kelly, and seconded by Lily Drellboss Stock. Is there an opening, Dr. Movers?
Mo Kelly, VP Student Affairs. Essentially, there were sort of just a few changes over the summer when we were going over policy. I'll just run you through them in a little list of what they are. It's almost all the changes are just from stuff that's been going on in society, and so we just want to keep policy updated with how it's been operating. The first one was there was a line underneath Director of First Year that just says that the Director of First Year shouldn't interact, or not shouldn't interact, but it said it shouldn't reach out to the first year exec unless they solicit advice from Director of First Year, but we took it out of policy. The line above says that they should also be a point of contact for them, so we thought it was a bit contradictory, and the Director of First Year has been overseeing them for a while, so just keeping that updated with what we have. Second thing is that we just had to state that interviews conducted by the society should be in English. Apparently that's been a problem in the past, and all of our interviews have been in English. So, third thing is a 15% contingency with our operational budget. Essentially for the past 2-3 years, it's been approved. Our operational budget has been approved with a 15% contingency, but a policy says 25. And then electing 6 bursary committee members at the last council instead of 4. And then there were a few like capitalizations in the text that was wrong. So just like clubs and conferences, the C was capitalized. So yes, and that's it.
For the opening, is there any debate on the motion?
Lincoln Bird, PC rep. I believe that the version of policy on the website is, it just got changed? Perfect. Ignore me. Actually, question. Just want to ensure that the one that was being changed was the 2024
Yes.
version? Okay, perfect. Yeah, that was my only question.
Lucas Baylog, Engineering Senator. I just want to ask a question, kind of try to relate this to the summer goals of the executive that were presented at the end of council last year. These are all classified under like that kind of miscellaneous, just fixing up policy. This wasn't any of the major projects. I'm thinking there was one about fixing ERP, or not ERP, the EDI question in interviews and a couple other things like that. That's not presented in this policy.
Yeah, direct response. It was just like general policy changes. We have actually been working on some other stuff, but soon to come.
Special surprise.
Connor Rosie, ERB Chair. Do we currently have 6 or 4 actively sitting members of bursary committee? And if it's only 4, are there plans to elect them after this policy goes into place?
Direct response. We elected 6 at our last council last year. Direct response about them, yes sir. We elected 6 last time, and then we are supposed to elect at least 1 first years, but we'll wait till all of first year exec is elected.
They are, but we
Or
don't know.
like,
Okay.
no, but like with section reps.
Ben Zevra, EC Pres. You mentioned that you were operating at a 15% contingency, but also says 25, and you're changing it to 15. Is that just for the operating budget, or does that apply to affiliate groups as well?
Director Fonte, that's just for the like operational budget. The other one's still 25. The only change was just that the last like 3 years, the budget that has been approved with the 15%, but when I was reading policy, policy says that it should be approved with 25, so it's just like changing to match what we've been doing.
Any further debate on the motion? Seeing none, is there any closing comments? All right, motion 10. Whereas the society has been changing and people have made small typos, and whereas we need to keep policy updated and correct, be it resolved that council approve of the changes to policy as seen in appendix, summer policy clerical changes, moved by Mo Kelly, seconded by Lily Stock. Can I see votes for the motion, please? Can I see votes against? Any abstentions? Motion 10 passes. Hooray! Really quickly, I'd like to just say, when you're saying your name and position, please speak loudly and clearly. I know a lot of people in this room know each other, but there are also a lot of people in this room who don't know you, and we'd love to get to know each other. As well, just a reminder, when you're speaking, you are speaking to me. Don't look at other people, you're looking at me. All right, sounds good. We're gonna move, that's the end of the motions, everybody. We're gonna move into executive reports. Yay! All right, Jack, okay.
Cool. Jack Walker, President. Over the last 2 weeks, it's been a lot of O week, and more O week, as you guys can imagine. OC hiring is live. There's been ads up already. It's closing tomorrow night. So if you know people that are interested in being OC, or you yourself are interested in being OC, please feel free to apply. If you are interested in being Chief Rec, that's actually also live. There hasn't been any ads out because I just opened it, but that's also up. If you're in first year and you want to be Chief, feel free to check that out. Other than that, I've been doing some post-orientation discussions with faculty, various people in the university, trying to figure out some stuff for next year already, I know. And yeah, working with the rest of the exec on the budget and the beginning of our strat plan, which tentatively should be here for next council. And then just supporting the directors in SciFormal because they're starting to get off the ground now that we're all back on campus. Next 2 weeks, I will be doing an absurd amount of hiring for OC, for Chief, and then the rest of FC after that. Hiring ERB members, and then continuing kind of the post-O week discussions, and a bunch of discussions with university advancement about how the bed fund is going to look now that we don't have a donation for that anymore.
Quack Walker. Alright. Lily Stock. Isn't that like a cosplay?
No, yes.
Yeah.
Jack Walker giving the report to Lily Stock as requested. President. Sorry, Maggie. Over the last 2 weeks, I mean, everyone's busy with O week. Everyone's been plenty of busy with O week. Oh, she was busy with O week. She's been getting the services all started up, reopening now that everyone's back on campus, putting out lots of tiny little issues that have been coming up, financial reporting, payroll, science quest restructuring with Charlie, training the business managers, and working on the audit for Cardinal. Over the next 2 weeks, she's going to be doing jacket fitting, continuing all of the ongoing reporting and payroll duties that are the standard stuff, and then continuing to put out random problems that inevitably arise.
One picture only, but it's cute.
Give a little
Thank you very much.
Actually, point of personal privilege, or maybe point of order, can we remove that photo from the official agenda before it's sent out? Thank you.
It's not the version that's downloaded to my computer, so I'm. All right. All right. Yeah, we'll adjust it before we send that agenda. All right. Thank you very much, Lily Stock, wherever you are. All right, go ahead, Mel.
Mo Kelly, VP Student Affairs. Essentially, a week, surprise, surprise. And just in general, a lot of changes coming in from the summer. With now seeing all of you lovely people here. I've been buying a lot of pizza for everyone. So yeah, if you look at my credit card tracker, it's all pizza. But something good, I feel like a lot of it's just mostly been supporting directors in their events that have all been going well, which I'm sure they'll talk about. A lot of meetings with different people. We have our first AMS assembly coming up. And then I guess doing those policy changes. And then, yeah, I guess our accountability presentation also coming soon. And then after that, coming up, hiring OC chief. We're going to be reopening the position of SVPR rep. So keep your eye out for that. Oh, yeah, the sexual violence prevention response lead? I can't remember, lead, we changed it recently. So that's just a role that mainly supports students, I guess, in getting awareness out there and works with the Human Rights and Equity Office. But yeah, lots more meetings on the way. And more events coming up.
Thank you very much. All right, Avery.
Avery Fadden, Vice President of Finance Administration. So the last 2 weeks I've been putting up helping with the week, helping my directors a lot. We had our first month-end session, which was super fun. August month-end. Working on the operational budget, which you guys just approved. Thanks guys for that. That was super fun to make. Helping, yeah, and basically the rest is just helping my directors put up miscellaneous fires around this side. Stuff I'll be doing over the next 2 weeks. More budget approvals, so if you are a group that is sent a budget and hasn't been approved yet, we'll be working on that. Other new thing is we're also working on a credit card tracker just to make using the credit card in the lounge way easier, but I'll come up with that a little later when we haven't finished that. Yeah, that's the important stuff. Thanks guys. Oh, this is my phone. This is Jack when we finished the chocolate in the summer. It was a magical moment.
How much chocolate did you have? Thank you very much, executives. Let's move on to the directors. Academics.
Director of Academics. Since the start of the year, it's been basically answering emails for DSCs, hiring for Fed Fund reps, well, technically elections for Fed Fund reps, the team kind of getting things started off the boat, or sorry, just getting things started, rolling. Can I ask you to zoom in?
Sorry. Yes. No. Can you do that?
Yes, so, DSC elections have finished officially as of last night. People are supposed to be accepting the rolls in the next 2 days, so hopefully that will all be finalized by the end of the weekend. FIPCO project submission, that's done, waiting to hear on what's next for that to get it started. And coming up in the next 2 weeks, I have to hire my academic advocacy deputy. And then it's just kind of the same thing that I've been doing since now. That's the main
All right, very nice. Clubs and conferences.
Hi everyone, my name is Remy. I'm the Director of Clubs and Conferences. Over the past 2 weeks, I've been meeting with all of my co-chairs, club heads, clubs officers, and conferences officer. The clubs officer is currently working on a ratification guide, so if anyone wants to get ratified, I can just give them something and they don't have to ask me 10,000 questions. And then the conference officer is working on an automated budget system, so we're internally tracking for ourselves as well as whatever the finance people do. Also helping co-chairs complete their hiring because we had 3 side-eye. We had 3 conferences not done their exec hiring, and then held a clubs and conferences hiring info fair on Tuesday. Over the next 2 weeks, we're going to finish up conference hiring, hopefully approving all of their preliminary budgets so that, again, finance doesn't have 1,000 edits to make, and then meeting with a bunch of clubs that want to get ratified.
And no job. Overall, I'm so crazy.
Okay, Noah Dutchman Fritz. I use he, him pronouns. I'm the director of communications. Past 2 weeks, OEIC photos, OEIC photos, OEIC photos. Yes, they're coming. They'll be on Flickr this year. I've been meeting with my comms managers, prepping them for the year, organizing their hiring, because they all have to hire teams. So if you know people who are looking to be on the comms team, tell them to apply. I've been automating the photography booking request system because we get a lot of those now, and automating it will be easier on my managers. Getting the All-Eng up and running. I think I've sent 3 of those so far. Finalizing my budget. Prepping and organizing my equipment. ED team headshots. They seem to be never ending, but I think they're done now. Preparing the council live stream and recording. And then over the next few weeks, I'll be finishing the OEIC pictures, hopefully, with my OEIC media team. Hiring my team. Finalizing some social media campaigns that we'll be running over the year. Updating the photo, video, and marketing request systems to reflect some changes that members of the society have been willing to see in that system, and then meeting with the faculty comms about some things that they want to talk about. I'm not quite sure what that is yet, but he wants to meet with me. So yeah. Also, your pictures are coming slowly but surely.
Okay, design.
Tanner Warren, Director of Design. Over the past 2 weeks, I've been dealing with FOBs, which is something that I didn't realize was such a big part of my portfolio. We worked with faculty to set up a system that hopefully will be put in place next year, so it's not such a huge issue for my lower. Design teams all now have FOBs. There's also a garbage day for teams to clean up their hangars. Results were okay because not a lot of teams had access to their hangars because of the FOBs. There's also 3 events running for recruiting. All of them ran pretty well. Really good turnouts. Strongly increasing engagement with the design team on Instagram. You should all follow at Queen's Design Team on Instagram. Coming up, I'm going to be working with my deputy to try and clean out the bay and make the space more effective. We're working with Iz and Sasha to try and get EDII officers as a position in policy, so yay, more motions. And I'll be working with Mo to work on regarding design groups and design teams, because no one seems to know the difference. And yeah, you should all follow the Instagram, and I missed a week.
I really like when the space is just at the top of the bar. Okay, educational services.
Charlie Angel, Director of Education Services. What's up, y'all? So over the past 2 weeks, with Icons, just been meeting with the head manager, doing more statics. I attended Icons training, which is pretty chill. Icons is pretty chill, nothing too crazy there. The Science Quest, same thing, that's the head director. Been working on updating the organizational structure, as you guys heard, with Renee, the head director, Lily, and with Jake, as advice. And we're also planning to collapse, or the eventual collapse of the school year program. I introduced my deputy to all my head managers, which is pretty cool. Talked about getting feedback from Science Quest staff, so she may have we've been meeting for staff chat, so figuring that out. Oh yeah, also for EngLinks, I forgot. I've been meeting with Stacey Shane just to talk about some potential bursary/money stuff to help with the service. Yeah, over the next 2 weeks, Icons, just going to work with the head manager to update the resource bank for Frosh. For EngLinks, we got to finalize the hiring of all personal tutors for the year, and then also assist with the planning of first-year midterm workshops. Because the first midterm for first year is October 1st, so it's coming up pretty soon. I know. Yo, go to workshops. And the help desk. Awesome. And then for Science Quest, the posting on Breezy for the head director for next year just went out. So if any of you want to be in Kingston next year, want to work for a really cool camp, I'm going to be for few months to do that. And then, yeah, I'll be hopefully finalizing the changes to the management structure and making sure that next week I can have something real for you guys at council and not some big thing. Enjoy my meeting.
There was like 3 pizzas that I just have gotten.
I'm your friend.
They were in my fridge. I've been eating pizza all the day. Okay, equity and advocacy. What is that?
Sasha Rubini, Director of Equity and Advocacy, she her pronouns. No, I do not do event@talk.pc.ca. It's a bad habit. Anyway, okay, over the past 2 weeks, I've been finalizing O-Week groceries that actually are going to be going out tonight. Or sorry, not O-Week groceries, jacket groceries will be going out tonight. O-Week groceries are done, including front and first year groceries. There were a lot of them. It was great. My grocery care is incredible. It was awesome. Again, finishing up jacket groceries, and then jacket fittings are coming up soon. Things I'll be doing over the next 2 weeks. Over the next 2 weeks, I'll be continuing to meet with my grocery, equity, and sustainability chairs. Really exciting. We're going to be having equity officers for the first time ever, which will work parallel to each director portfolio. So I'll definitely talk about that at the upcoming council. But essentially, they'll just make sure EIIS is at the forefront of the society, which it should be, and it's great. Anyway, Cheerio Council. Enjoy my meeting.
I love a lot of
Thank you.
Okay. The doer.
Council, Ethan Powell, Director of External Relations. So yeah, things I've been doing for the past 2 weeks. I've just been organizing things for my team, so the Outreach team, the Fix and Clean. For the Outreach team, they're doing their hiring right now, so if you or anyone you know is interested in doing the Outreach team, basically it's a team that does initiatives like Santa Claus Parade and Fun Clark Night, so if you want to be involved with the Kingston community and the campus community, make sure to do that or let your friends know. Fix and Clean is getting off the ground. We're just counting stock and ordering all the bars and t-shirts, and then communicating with our clients and sponsors from past events, and trying to get some new ones as well. And things I'll be doing over the next 2 weeks. So me and Quack Walker, our president, will be attending CFES PM this weekend at McMaster. So it's going to be a super fun event. And just to give you guys some clarifying information about what we're actually going to be doing, because a lot of it, people think it's just like nights out and stuff, but CFES PM is primarily to strengthen and establish strong relationships with other schools, because it's important to know what all the other schools in Canada are doing in their engineering societies, and we can take the best parts and components of those engineering societies and bring them back to ours. So that's like the importance of this president's meeting, to establish those relationships off the bat so we can reach out later down the line. And yeah, also next council, I'll be electing my external communications committee members. So if you or any of your friends again want to get involved in the external portfolio and reach out to some other schools and share some information about all the external opportunities, make sure to give it a look. And yeah, my meme is directly relevant to the report above. Yeah. There you go.
All right.
I'm the Director of Finance. Other than O-Week emails and just answering a bunch of questions over the past couple of weeks, I've been getting the operations of the Bank of Benchock up and running. So that involves like training FOs, doing our first like reimbursement request, first month end, making sure kind of the FOs are aware of everything and they can answer questions too. And then all like back end stuff like updating templates, updating like finance information, resources and stuff. So improving budgets, and yeah, just answering more questions. Over the next couple of weeks, I will be doing pretty much all the same stuff. Continuing to update stuff, approve budgets, continue working with the FOs, get the community up and running, some back-end stuff too, and yeah.
Love money. Okay, Sophie.
Sophia Randy, Director of First Year. Hi guys. The past few weeks I've been having regular meetings with my team, sending some absolutely fire WP Digest, hosted the first year exec elections. Got these 4 lovely people right beside me. With Chloe, that was awesome. We had a lot of extra pizza. Been playing with Adobe Edgestock Mixer with paying my manager, which is happening on Monday at Clark, and I had a meeting with faculty about Iron Pin and the NSHOP discipline fair that's happening in the new year in January, which was good. And we opened FIPCO applications, which is awesome. We've already had a lot of people, and it's open for another week and a half, so we're getting ready for that, which is exciting. The next 2 weeks, I plan to have more meetings with my team, write some more Fired Up Digest. Please send me memes, guys. I need them. I'm not a meme creator. Appreciate it. Posting more on the Instagram, filter through the FIPCO applications, start trickling through, and planning different corresponding events.
Oh my God. All right, governance.
That's me. Yeah, we ran some
That's personal leverage.
It's a lot.
Chloe McCloskey, Director of Governance. We've been running elections. Not to pick favorites, but my favorite was definitely on Monday. Welcome to today, you guys rock. Yeah, I learned how MailJet works, and it like kind of sucks. I'm not good at it, and I never did it before. I made this agenda, and I don't care if there's some mistakes in it. It took me so long because the automation thing broke. So that's what I'm doing for the next 2 weeks. I'm gonna fix it because I don't want to make that again. Like it was fun, but it wasn't fun, you know. I'm also getting DRO and FIPCO. We're hiring DRO, and I'm getting FIPCO at home. And I'm really excited. We have a project for the FIPCO.
Got big plan.
And I love Raj, so you know.
All right, HR.
Susan McKee, Director of Human Resources. Things I've been doing over the past 2 weeks, grooming lots of Breezy postings, distributing hiring training, and setting people up on Breezy. The What is Your Faculty NSHOP rotation, so hopefully getting more first years in the lounge. Meeting with my deputies, yay! And then reviewing and updating training modules with one of my deputies, so that we can get those out later. So that will be things in the next 2 weeks. Continue reviewing and updating training modules with my deputies, sorting through feedback from last year, getting that distributed to everyone who needs it. Continue through getting my deputies set up in their roles, and more Breezy. Thanks.
All right, do it.
So, Peter Duffy, Director of Information Technology. So, over the past 2 weeks, I've been meeting with my managers. The applications are open for the IT Ops and SDev team. I've also been meeting with my IT Ops manager, just transitioning in, getting to learn all the new software. And then I've also been dealing with just like little IT tasks here and there, so answering a lot of tickets, emails, and then also just fixing stuff that's breaking on the website. And I've been working on the printing system because you can't email the print edit software .ca right now. And then over the next 2 weeks, just I guess continue to deal with all that, and then we're also going to start hiring for those teams in the next 2 weeks. Obviously, just meeting with the whole team. And then one big thing, if any of your sub teams or any design teams, anything, have problems with their emails or email recess, just instead of emailing me or coming to my office hours, just submit a ticket. And then also setting up Jay's computer.
Pretty obviously states that you did not do. All right.
Ian Schaefer, Director of Internal Processes. Please don't email Sasha if your mom doesn't know. She'll be very happy with that. So yeah, my first week in OIC was pretty nuts because of Rec and Director colliding. So I finally got to finish keys, fobs, and alarms. Or so I thought. Apparently most of them don't work, so I'm really upset with that. I'm gonna have to go down that rabbit hole, which is fun. I love fobs. Also met with faculty to fix that so that my lower doesn't have the same issue. Yeah, that's in there. Yeah, better ticketing system, so I don't just have to like email people throughout the year, so we can get that sorted faster. Looked into bigger automation projects for the year, how best to tackle those. Figured out some FIPCO projects, and then dealt with the lounge a little bit. Could always use more. Things that I'm going to be doing over the next 2 weeks, get the automation team kicked off, ready to crush some more flows.
in the lounge running nice and smoothly, office hours, tours, all that fun stuff, and then make some more progress on the big automation parts of my portfolio. Should be good.
All right.
Maximo Moreno, Director of Professional Development. So over the past 2 weeks, we were hiring additional members of the PD committees, including industry relations, alumni relations, and workshops. We're just finishing up alumni relations right now, but everything else, we got some really good applicants and should be some good teams this year. We're currently organizing internal and external meetings. So we had some meetings with faculty, had some meetings with some external companies that are interested in coming to Queens, so that's really good. We're currently planning out our marketing strategy for this year, how we're going to market our events, because last year it wasn't amazing, so we're going to try to prove that this year. And I've been getting thunder, sludge, and blood out of my shoes for the past 2 weeks, and I'm still working on it. And then things I'll be doing the next 2 weeks, so finish up with all the hiring, should be good. We're going to be hosting our first events. That's been changed to early to mid-October, just because of the hiring we've had to do. And we're going to continue holding meetings with chairs and attending first committee meetings. So, go to the update or what? And then that's a screenshot of my text.
All right, retail. Hi, I'm Kennedy Burgoyne. I'm the Director of Retail Services. So for the past 2 weeks, I started meeting with my head managers, started getting the retail services running. I met with my retail deputy, Alicia. She's really awesome. I set up the Joint Health and Safety Committee, so all the services have their representatives set up for that. For patio ritual, and then the usual fires. And then for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to continue meeting with my head managers, meet with my retail deputy again. We're going to set up staff chats for late October. I'm helping with Jacket Fitting this weekend, and also first year brand ambassador for Campus Equipment Outfitters. Applications are opening this week, so that's great if anyone wants that if you're in first year. Not anyone. And yeah, and then I sent my memes down. But I sent my meme to Golden Words, and they said it wasn't funny, so this is the one they made funny.
All right.
I took the screenshot.
It looks like a picture of a computer.
I was going to crop it, and then I really wanted everyone to see it.
Hi, Maggie Zaps, Director of Student Life. Things I've been doing, not really the past 2 weeks, kind of the past since I was hired. It's really just been Swab Drive and Terry Fox. Swab Drive was a great success. I beat Matt by a very significant number of people. So that was really the main goal of everything. Terry Fox is this Sunday, everyone come. We know you love to run. If you don't, you can also hop, skip, and jump. If you want to march, many forms of transportation available. Again, over the next 2 weeks, pretty much Terry Fox, and then once that's out of the way, December 6th discussions have been going on. Also, normalizing the use of X at the end of everything. It's gonna happen. Thanks, X.
Very nice. All right. Question period. Yes, we have a question.
Lucas Baylog, Engineering Center. I know this is going to cause some stress, but based on the conversations that we were having at the end of council last year, I was expecting to see a bit more about the engagement committee's responsibilities distributed, seeing as we're at the peak of one of our 2 biggest hiring seasons. So mostly for the executive team, can we get an update on what engagement activities we have planned or have been executed in the last 2 weeks?
There's a response up there, yes.
Direct response is Keith, Director of HR. Some of the engagement stuff that we've been doing so far, we had the NSHOC, What is Your Faculty rotation, along with Nesby in the lounge. So that was gave the NSHOC presentation to all the first years. We've been seeing a lot more first years hanging out in the lounge, coming in there. So that was a big one right during O week. And then just within, because HR absorbed engagement committee, where one of my HR deputies is going to be continuing on the NSHOC view book that the engagement committee started last year. We're just getting the software set up now that the budget's been approved, so that we can get access to that. And then similarly, like feedback booths coming soon from my end.
Thank you.
Any other response and or questions? All right, seeing none, we're going to move on to the faculty board report. Yeah.
Chuck Walker, President. Faculty board met since the last council, obviously. Faculty board has met recently. The most recent one, they talked about current student numbers. I believe they said they have 132 students currently registered in first year. There's been about 1,000 of them going to classes.
Sorry, 132?
1,032,
Okay.
apologies. Students, basically big first year class. Every lecture is pretty much maxed out. Did confirm that guaranteed discipline selection will be safe, so that's not going anywhere despite the large class size, so that's good. But yeah, big first year class numbers, a whole bunch of grants and awards have been awarded to various people in the faculty. I don't remember names off the top of my head, but they're doing well. I think they said about $4 million in donations has been generated in response to the Smith donation last year, so that's nice. And they have some policy change to make the naming convention for the Faculty of Mining slightly more flexible. I know that you're all thrilled with that.
All right, very nice. Thank you, faculty board. AMS report. Any of our AMS reps want to
Alright, Ramil Pandey, Cytosome AMS rep. I don't know black up yet, welcome. So, since last time AMS, we had a governance session with all the other faculties leads will be attending AMS. There were 3 sessions happening. We're having a lot of discussions about possible committees that will be forming. AMS this year, they're taking a lot of new initiatives to bring a lot more committees and make it easier to start committees within AMS. More information will be released. As they come in, we will share it to the engineering community.
Thank you, AMS. All right, Senate report.
Lucas Baylog, Engineering Center. Do you want to just keep scrolling and show? Hi. I know that's scary. But if you've heard the quote going around of if we don't fix things, the university will go under, you'll understand why I want to make sure that what I say is within context of information, because it gets taken out of context very quickly. So there was 2 Senate meetings at the tail end of last year. The March meeting had the presentation of the Margaret Huey Award to Neil Matisse, who's now the SGPS president. He's a very great leader at our school, and I'm glad to see him win that award. And there was a mostly silent protest by a pro-Palestinian group in the middle of the Senate that caused a bit of a conversation, but it was mostly kind of outside of Senate. It didn't really change much to the procedure because the agenda had already been voted on. Few name changes, and then there was a closed session about the naming of the Sinclair Research Institute. That is not the same Murray Sinclair as our ex-chancellor, just so happens to be no multiple Murray Sinclair. Then there was an April meeting. We finally got an update on the classroom safety issue. If you were around last year, the report on that one in September, so 8 months. There's lots of new procedures. One I want to bring to attention to the council is profs now have the ability to request from the registrar's office photos of students. The same photos that you submit with your student ID. This is just to help ID people who are registered in classes. I don't expect it's going to happen in engineering class because ours are so big. But if you are taking electives in arts and science that are fairly small, they might be doing this just to verify the right people are there and everybody can be safe. And then, yeah, that was about it. That's supposed to be May faculty board, no, there was April faculty board. That happened after we got new people in. There's a final curriculum report, just a couple low changes. Temporary suspension of some stuff. And then there was a really nice presentation from the Women in Engineering chair that can be found on the Engineering Governance website if you like. May faculty board, because, well, I just keep going to meetings. So university did finish last academic year with a $30 million deficit, which is down from the $68 million one we were projecting at the start of the year. And we as a faculty are projected to be balanced on time, as well as we're only operating at a 5% deficit this year, which is pretty good. And yeah, 4% of our tuition has been transferred to Faculty of Arts and Science via the deficit mitigation fund. I can explain that later. Oh, there's this cool statue the dean really liked that we were gonna move. And then all of a sudden we showed up in September and it's like, we're just gonna throw it out. So if anybody wants an art sculpture that Size 66 made to make fun of the multi-million-dollar one that the university bought, it's up for grabs. Oops. Okay, you got
One
an
information, as far as I'm aware, that is actually correct.
No, it is.
Yeah, it is kind of cool. There's videos about it. Size 66 is very proud of it, but they're also like, yeah, it's a joke. It can go in the garbage flame. Yeah, so we were presented with new numbers in May, showing that our acceptances were up. And I was assured that don't worry, Sci 2.8 was going to have a normal amount. We don't need to worry. Sci 2.8, how full are your classes? Yeah. Yeah, so they've maxed out literally every seat in every lecture hall for first year courses. There was 20 members of Sci 2.7 that were held back or had to repeat a course, and exactly 20 members of Sci 2.8 did not show up. So it just kind of worked out. And yeah, so if you know somebody who's trying to transfer into engineering, they can't. Unless they're coming from a university that offers them 101 like credits. Yeah, CEI, which is ECI, is way up. They're going to be promoting a lot of that. Dr. Brian Frank released the results of an academic integrity survey. That was really interesting. I can get those slides for you if you would like. There was, so it was by year and by gender was how they did a lot of the stats. There was one point that female and non-binary students tended to aim for not-for-profits and other organizations like that after graduation, but still majority of both genders were going right for industry after graduation. And as well as in, when it comes to actual academic integrity, upper year students were more likely to cheat on exams. It's most likely due to all their first year exams being online, and female identifying students were more likely to cheat in groups. By a significant number, it was about double percentage. But other than that, the biggest way people were cheating was Google and on non-proctored exams. So they're going to be looking at that. There's probably going to be some new things. Okay, here we go. September faculty board, we're going to talk about that. Yes, sir.
Just a point of information, I believe that stat is relative to the men who tended to do it on their own, right?
Yes, sorry, so it was like...
To be clear.
Yes, yeah, no. Yes, male students are actually more likely to cheat across the board, yes. I should mention that. It was by like 1 or 2%. But no, for whatever reason, that group one was the only one that was like, female students were double, but it was still like the lowest, like 5% of people cheating groups. Everybody else was, yeah. What I'm trying to say is, it didn't matter by gender. A lot of people cheat. Don't though, because they've got plans. There's new policies, don't you worry. We've got lots of money coming in, hopefully. We're working on it. The new chair of faculty board is Dr. Mark Green from Chemical Engineering. And yes, that is the same Mark Green who was provost from 2020 to 2022. The bridge program was a great success this year for civil engineering, and they're looking at expanding it to mining, mechanical, and SHE this year. So Site 2.8 and Site 2.7, you're going to have some extra people joining you in third year, which will be kind of cool. And yeah, the mining department name change was just to have it first name, middle initial, last name to line up with our faculty's name. What is that? Oh, congratulations, faculty, council members. Jenny Bro is now serving on SCADP, which is the most important committee of the Senate, as well as Yahya Mohammed, who is the SORT chair for the orientation committee. So I'm super excited to see their involvement. I will be stepping back slightly as engineering senator, and Jenny, as junior senator, will be stepping up and probably taking on about 60% of the engineering center responsibilities, because I am Senate Student Caucus Chair, which means I'm working with the AMS a bit more and representing all students on Senate, but at the end of the day, my vote is still a bit more tied to engineering. So yeah.
Thank you very much.
That's the longest report this year, I promise.
All right. I'm gonna hold you to that.
It was shorter in my Word doc.
You sent it to me in email.
Oh,
All right. ERB, Engineering Review Board report. Any of them?
Yeah, Connor Posey, ERB chair. I have to follow that, which is super fun. Yeah, I know, it is super weak. No, things are good. Did judiciary training with the AMS on Monday for their new advisory board for their judiciary committee. Kind of got more insight there and things that I want to bring back and implement. In addition, we're going to be hiring our board somewhere around the first week of, full week of October, as in like around the 7th. Given that one for the relatively in the next day or so. Other than that, I think a big thing I want council to know, just on behalf of the Engineering Review Board, is that I'd like to make it a lot less scary than the concept of getting ERB'd, and really kind of work towards making it more of a like an advisory body that you can come to as both a preventative and a after the fact board, so that we can both deal with infractions from policy, but also help you to not make those infractions in the first place. So if you ever have any questions, please don't hesitate to come talk to me, email me, do whatever you gotta do. But thank you. Questions?
Wonderful. All right, advisory board. Stay tuned.
I'm not the advisory board chair, so the advisory board have met 3 times since last council, and I was elected to some of those times. So we have approved all of the services except all the budgets except automobiles, engineering, and science. We have to review their budget. It's already been approved. So we're waiting those. 2 days in my job, I realized that one of the faculty members on the board decided to step down. So we are currently looking on a faculty member to be on the board. If you know any faculty member, it doesn't have to be in engineering, who have business experience in the industry and not just academics, please tell me, as we are looking into those, and I have been ghosted by the faculty members I've reached out to. Also, we had one student member also step down, which was the vice chair, so I'm also currently that chair and the vice chair. So we're still looking into how to solve this with me, Lily, and Avery, and yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, we're keeping on with the reports. We got some club reports. So the clubs are divided into 2 groups. For anyone who doesn't know, the happy group and the sunny group. Today we're going to be hearing from all of the clubs in the happy group. We're going to start with ECE.
ECE.
Zap.
I would love to.
Oh.
I would love to. I know how to explain this.
Connor Posey, former speaker. My apologies. The tables were the first things that I did in the report, and then work meant that I was pulling 10-hour days. So I'm working on it. But if you need to know, after each report, we will be doing, we'll say like for ECE, for example, we will say, we'll now go to the report for ECE. Afterwards, we all say ZAP. And everybody in ECE, you do your ECE thing, and the rest of us go ZAP. The rest of them relevant to the happy group for Maddie. ZAP, gears, shafts, nerds, and the R2D2 straight.
Please demonstrate.
Actually, I defer
I
to
will
Ben.
demonstrate. Thank you very much. Okay. We are now going to hear from ECE.
ECE. Zap.
There.
ECE, or ranking, or ECE rep. We have finished our elections, woo, and we got everyone. Woo. We are going to do a card call night on September 30th, and we'll have a food drive for the AMS Food Bank as well at this event. We also have started creating a Dead Fund idea generation form, and we are working with Tron to hold some cool new events. Secret. And we attended department meetings, 2 of them, one of them was, 2 days ago? Anyhow, they talked about budget and changing the master's courses, increasing tuition, things like that. Yeah, yeah, they're trying to. Anyhow, and then the president went to the president's meeting with Monica, and it was great. And then there's an ECE town hall on the 26th at 7 p.m. on Zoom for anyone at ECE. You should go and complain about courses if you have complaints, because I already know that there are some complaints. Currently working on Pokemon patches for Side 27, and form is made. We're just going to get that rolling out. And then I'll direct the last thing to Ben.
Ben Emery, ECE Pres. Update, I don't know if this ever closed at council because I was on an internship, but to the conversation with the direct entry CE program, as the exec mentioned in their reports, it's the free discipline choice is going to be maintained. The current plan, to my knowledge, talking with department representatives, is that they're closing ECI as a stream, direct entry stream as of this year, so it's actually the last year that will be ECI. And they're changing to a direct entry comp, but not direct entry elect, no innovation stream, starting with Section 9. That's the current plan, working through the department. And as well, there's talks of changing the innovation stream to being an option you can apply for going into your 3rd year for any discipline. So not restricting that to just ECE, so that's kind of in conversation right now in the department, but
That's in fact.
the fact thing, yeah. But that's the update in terms of that, because like I said, I don't know if that ever got updated as of when it was brought up on council last year, but discipline choice is being held first choice, but there will be a direct entry comp in because they want more international students since they're recent, but you can think about that as you go.
Thank you very much. Anything else from EC? All right, I'm going to remind you that we are still in council, and please keep the chatter in the background to the minimum. I don't know what it is. I got this like an elephant. I can hear it so clearly. Okay, cool. We're going to be moving on to MEC.
Hi, Sarah Borg, MEC guys.
Sorry, interrupted you.
After which we say years.
After which we say years. Did they say something?
Yeah, so.
Anyone in MEC goes MEC, and then everyone else yells at them. It's great. We love it.
All right. Okay. We're gonna get to the hang of this. We are now going to hear from MEC.
MEC?
Years.
Pop off, love it. Okay. Can I speak now? Is that okay? I'm new here, so maybe a bit slow in that way, but I'll get to know the lingo as we go. So what things we've been working on, we got a mentorship program. Anyone in MEC here that wants to join, the link's up on emails and also our Instagram. So 2nd and 3rd years are going to be the mentees, and the mentors are 4th and 3rd years. Really chill program, just a way to meet some upper years and get some help and guidance. And there's a kickoff event next Tuesday, which is fun. There'll be free food. I've been talking to industry. One of the ones is a repeat of 5th EBR. Those that don't know, tech is now called EBR, Elm Valley Resources. So we're going to do a repeat with them in 2nd semester during the 2nd hiring fair. There's a new MEC newsletter that's going bi-weekly, and figuring that out with formatting and that type of code, because we can't send emails out directly. The faculty needs to send them out for us, so kind of working on that. We're selling MEC merch, so we can make money, and anyone that is in MEC wants glasses, we're just selling them tomorrow from 1 to 2:30, little plug. And old sweaters that were done last year, meeting with the department heads to get an idea of what they want and expectations. Hosting a quit panel in the fall, ideally a MEC versus civil trivia night, that way having the talks, and also in the talks of repeating the MEC versus civil hockey for winter semester and getting that sorted out. Thank you.
Thank you very much, MEC. We're now going to move on to mining.
Mining?
Shouts.
Okay, hi, I'm Wellesley, the mining reps. So just
couple things that we've been doing so far is we've done some mining like intramurals. So there's like a third year like dodgeball game, and also a golf tournament happening on this Sunday. See how that goes. And we had our welcome back barbecue last week, which was really nice to meet the second years that have just joined mining. We're currently working on sponsorships. We already have a few secured. I'm not sure about the numbers, but it's going well so far. We also started, we're trying to start a mentorship program within mining. We'll see how that goes too. And just some women in mining stuff as well. Sponsorships for that too. And we usually do an industry night just to hear from like 5th years internships or what people have done in the summer. That was pretty much it. I'd also like to hear more about the mining naming convention that was briefly mentioned earlier, but we can get to that. I can ask that later.
Yeah, statements and questions. We'll get back to that. All right, thank you very much, mining. Now for EngFiz.
EngFiz.
Nerds. It's Amy Kim, EngFiz president. So we will finish hiring and elections by Monday. Our elections haven't actually started. They start tomorrow. We have a welcome back barbecue on Monday as well. So hopefully the whole DSC can be there to help. We are starting an industry series up. So we're meeting with the undergrad chair next week with my VP. And then we're starting to reach out to industry. And we just sent out an entry survey 2 days ago for the undergrads. And then we're trying to plan a park night with Sean with little response from Carmen, but I don't think so.
Thank you very much. And lastly, for Tron.
All right. President of Tron. I'm really excited. I got to hear that. I was told about this RTD script from Sophie last year. So it lives up to the expectations. So our report is that now that we have our second events coordinator like passed, we are going to fill that roll up along with our first year rep and our EIS rep. So we're going to run those elections tonight. Actually, we're going to send out that form. We have also sent out a feedback form on our Instagram for any Tron members to like access, suggest whatever they want. Anything they want whenever, open at all times. We've got some big events planned, some with EngFiz, some with UCE. We're really excited about that. Our second events coordinator is going to really help out. My vice president here has been to curriculum meetings. I went to the president's meeting. A lot of setup has been going on, mostly. First years were contacted at an event. That's really it.
All right. Thank you very much. It's now time for the year reports. We're going to start with Sci-2-5.
Okay. Sci-2-5 Prez. I'm the only one on my year board, and right now we're trying to expand that. If you know anyone who wants to get involved, there's a form. It's probably in like one of those emails sent about a week ago by Chloe. If you know anyone who wants to get involved, I can try to find that email or maybe send that out another time and fill those out. Right now I'm brainstorming some ideas, but I really want people to bounce them off of before like going forward with stuff. I picked up some Sci-2-5 sweaters, so if anyone wants some Sci-2-5 merch, send me a text. I'll probably put up something up on the Instagram soon. And it was so fun seeing all of your beautiful faces, and I'm looking forward to an awesome school year.
Very nice.
Point of order.
Please.
Connor Billsy, former speaker. I'm sorry the meeting's coming. The year report section is super fun. Our speaker, our beloved speaker, will say, "Well, I hear the report from," and each year as a council nickname, Sci-2-8. Sorry, you don't get yours yet. And then your year will say, your year. Anybody older than you was allowed to yell "frosh" at you, but anybody younger than you was allowed to yell "old" at you. So keep that in mind. All right. With that being said, please.
Very nice.
No, we'll get it.
All right. We will now hear from Sci-2, 6 feet short of the town.
Maggie Zalf, Director of Student Life.
Whoa. Sci-2-6.
Oh, sorry, Sci-2-7.
From.
Egg Staff, Director of Student Life. Sci-2-6, the exact still in process. Hashtag stay tuned.
All right, very nice. We will now hear from Sci 27 years to pick a name.
Sci 27. Hi everyone, Michael Williams, Sci 27 president. Yeah, it's been a long journey, hasn't it? But here we are. Sci 27 has yet to have a meeting, but in the coming weeks, I want to do some outreach with Sci 27, figure out what they want out of your exec this year, activities that they're looking forward. We got our newly elected vice president over here. But anyway, that's my update for now. And shot classes are coming this year, guys. Woo! Tiny hydration fluid devices.
Thank you very much, Sci 27. Sci 28, you don't have a name yet, and also you just got elected, so I'm not going to make you do an update, but we're super happy to have you here.
Point of order, can we still get a Sci 28, please?
Please.
I'm ready for this.
All right, so we will actually now hear nothing from Sci 28.
Say Sci 28. Say Sci 28.
Takes you right back, doesn't it?
Order, please, order. We're in the home stretch here, everybody. Thank you. We are now moving on to our last section, which is statements and questions by members. If you have any questions, feel free to say them now.
I have 2 points of order. Can I have permission to do them in succession?
Permission granted.
Thank you. Following up on personnel. Oh, shit. Lucas Baylog, Engineering Center. Following up on the ECE report. Yes, they are creating a direct entry computer engineering program. There will still be spots for Sci 29 to transfer into that. There's just 100 people-ish, 50 people that are going to show up in first year already in computer engineering. It's just helping with their international recruitment because they're going to be able to go online. Yeah, a lot of people just want to come to Canada for computer engineering. It's what most international students seem to come in according to their research. Regarding the mining department naming, it is now the Robert M. Buchan, thank you, Department of Mining. Bob Buchan was in full support of it according to Dean Lucio. That's all.
Thank you very much. Any other statements and or questions by members?
Ian Jacob, Director of Institutional Processes. Question for Bennett Damaris, EC President. For the EC Town Code, we can complain about courses. Can people not in elect taking elect courses complain about courses?
Yes.
Response, Senator EC President. I don't see why not, especially if it's in your core program. It is a Zoom link, which email EC students will also be on the EC Instagram link tree. So yeah, I'm sure that they want to and they have a lot of non-EC students in their courses that would be good to do.
Point of information, we at Strong Clubs also hosting an engineering caucus that you'll be able to complain about every form course you take, whether it's select, macro, or math.
Point of personal leverage.
Yeah, Mohammed.
All right. Is there any other statement or question? Yes.
Classic Director of Governance, thanks for coming. Please email me if there's like a mistake with your placard, or like if I printed it in the wrong color, like if I gave you a vote and you like didn't have a vote, etc. Just email me, any council, I'll figure it out. And also, so in my budget, there's a $25 tea room gift card every council for the best dressed, and I have decided, drumroll please. So please dress up for every council, because we love tea rooms. There we go.
All right. Any final statements and or questions?
Did everyone sign attendance to the book thing all the way around? Because I did not see it.
If you did not get the chance to sign attendance, either sign it now or come see us at the end. I have not yet entertained that motion. Yes.
Ian Schaefer, Director of Internal Processes. Did we not have a forum last year for that? I feel like there was always a QR code that was on the council at the start of that.
One information, last year we had Jack Water President. Last year we had both because people were sending the QR code to their buttons. And no one could see the rest of the buttons.
I think we're going to keep going with the book. All right. Any final thoughts? Seeing none, for ending council? Any against? Any abstentions? Would you like that noted in the minutes? All right, thank you. All right, this is now council over, and Jack is going to lead us in the minutes.
We are the engineers. We